Angel Reese was like, she was giving me flashbacks, okay? I kept getting nightmares from last year, 2024 WNBA season, towards the end of the regular season, when Angel Reese had that hairline injury, fracture injury, whatever, to her wrist, okay? And she actually had to go to surgery, and it prematurely ended her career that season. She had to sit out for the rest of the remaining season, okay? And she kept on grabbing it.
Did you see Angel Reese's face as she left the court? The fear in her eyes said it all. She was clutching the same wrist that ended her season last year, and it was clear this wasn't just physical pain. Her entire basketball future was flashing before her eyes. This exact injury forced her into surgery last season, and now it's happening again, just weeks before the WNBA season. The timing couldn't be worse. With women's basketball finally getting the spotlight it deserves, this setback isn't just about one player. It's sending shockwaves through the entire sport.
Go to surgery, and it prematurely ended her career that season. She had to sit out for the rest of the remaining season, okay? And she kept on grabbing at her wrist, and you could tell that she was in pain.
Last season, what seemed like a minor wrist issue turned out to be a serious hairline fracture, forcing Angel Reese into surgery and cutting her promising rookie year short. The timing couldn't have been worse. Fast forward to the unrivaled league game. Did you catch those early moments? The cameras captured Reese clearly in distress during the first quarter. She kept grabbing her wrist, wincing with every movement, yet somehow pushing through to attempt layups despite the obvious pain. It was like watching a recurring nightmare unfold. Reese was reliving her past injury right before our eyes.
Angel Reese, after injuring her wrist last season, getting surgery on her injured wrist, has now injured her wrist again and looked in severe pain in the Rose win in on right.
Throughout those early minutes, you could see her making subtle adjustments, grimacing after contact, altering her shooting form, and instinctively trying to protect herself while still competing at the highest level. Her body language said it all. Something was seriously wrong.
Grabbing at her wrist, and you could tell that she was in pain. She was doing this in the first quarter of tonight's unrivaled league game. She was still moving and grooving, trying to make them layups. Again, she was doing her layups, okay? She had energy like the Energizer Bunny. Again, it was very apparent that she was in pain due to her.
The most frustrating part, when Reese first suffered this injury last season, some critics actually accused her of faking it. They questioned her toughness and commitment, only for medical tests to later confirm she had a legitimate hairline fracture that required surgery. Now, as she fights through the pain once again, her determination stands in stark contrast to those past doubts. And those same critics, they're likely watching in silence as their skepticism is proven wrong in the worst possible way.
That got sat down, but I believe in the second to third quarter, she came back and was playing some more. And then finally, after that, she just decided to rest.
The breaking point came in the third quarter. After battling through the discomfort as long as she could, Reese finally had to acknowledge defeat. For a competitor with her fire, that decision wasn't made lightly. It speaks volumes about the severity of the injury.
Just remember during the year when Angel Reese landed on her wrist, and then you can see her just kind of doing this, trying to get in and playing, and then it was oh, she faked the wrist injury, it wasn't real, and it's you can literally see where it happened.
Once she took a seat on the bench, the emotional toll became clear. The cameras caught Reese looking devastated, fighting back tears, shifting between anger and despair. This wasn't just about missing an exhibition game. Her expression said it all. She knew exactly what this could mean for her immediate future. What's especially alarming is that this isn't just any injury. It's the same wrist that already required surgery. That raises serious concerns about a potential recurring structural problem rather than just a random new issue. When the same area breaks down twice, medical professionals start worrying about long-term stability. A re-injury often takes longer to heal and can lead to chronic problems throughout a player's career.
There literally was footage of her on the bench holding her wrist in pain and looking almost angry. Look, people thought from looking at it that she was crying, and it's oh no. And the last thing you want is another wrist injury from one after getting surgery.
Team Rose just dominated Team Vinyl 74-46, but have you noticed how this blowout victory is barely making headlines? Instead, all eyes were on the sidelines, where medical concerns were mounting. The court saw one of the most lopsided games of the season, yet nobody seemed to care. That's the bizarre reality when your star player is in distress. Suddenly, the score doesn't.
Okay, field goals made. So Team Vinyl, guys, they were 18 for 57, whereas Team Rose were 30 for 67. And then for three-pointers, this is really bad. Okay, Team Vinyl, again, they got some good pieces. They got Ray Burrell. They got, what's the girl name? What's the little girl name? Don't tell me. They got Aaliyah Boston, okay? They were horrible, okay, at shooting if you just look at the score. So for three-pointers, they were 0 for 13. They didn't make none of their three-point attempts.
7. Team Rose has been on fire, and the numbers tell a story worth celebrating. They shot an impressive 44.8% from the field, sinking 30 of 67 attempts. From beyond the arc, they were even sharper, hitting 9 of 19 threes for a 47.4% success rate. Performances like this usually dominate post-game discussions.
Brittany Sykes and Chelsea Gray, they really made a huge difference and impact in this game. Again, guys, this is Chelsea Gray's sixth time hitting the game-winning shot in this current unrivaled league season. Again, it was an amazing game, an exciting game. Shout out to everybody, okay, that was out there moving and grooving on Team
and energized fans. Meanwhile, Team Vinyl struggled catastrophically. They failed to make a single three-pointer all game, going 0 for 13 from downtown. Their overall shooting was just as brutal, hitting only 18 of 57 attempts for a painful 31.6%. In professional basketball, failing to crack 50 points in a full game is usually the headline. But with Reese's injury overshadowing everything, even...
Sorry, the Vinyl stink. The Vinyl stink. They're so bad. Like, with or without Enrique, like, I predicted them to be my freaking winners. They were my predicted winners.
Chelsea Gray once again proved why she's one of the most clutch performers in women's basketball, sinking her 6th game-winning shot of the unrivaled season. On any other night, that moment would have dominated the headlines. Her commanding presence as a point guard had all the makings of a highlight reel. Adding to Team Rose's dominance, their strong rebounding effort gave them the edge, pulling down 41 boards compared to Vinyl's 38. It was a complete performance, one that showcased their clear superiority. But with all eyes on Reese's injury, even a game-winning masterpiece like Gray struggled to get the attention it deserved.
Look, the season's 2 months away. If it ends up being another injury, maybe not one that requires surgery, but another serious wrist injury, you're looking now at, I don't know, going into, say, May, June, for her to come back. And sorry, that first game of the season becomes significantly less relevant if Angel Reese is
all right. Again, the WNBA season, the tip-off, guys, put it in your calendar, is May 16th. Okay, I get out of here. Okay, I will be skilled bridging out of the military May 19th. Okay, we got a lot of things to do come May. We cannot afford to have Angel Reese sitting out in this upcoming season due to another injury.
Again, to see any player getting injured. And look, and I get it. There are horrible people everywhere that probably want to watch Angel Reese getting hurt or see her like in agony on the bench and claim it's a faked injury, and I don't know some of the mad stuff.
But did you notice the bench reactions as the statistical gap widened? The usual energy vanished. No high fives, no excited chatter, no celebrations, even when Chelsea Gray made another incredible play. The mood shifted from competitive intensity to something eerily subdued, almost like a hospital waiting room. It was as if the temperature in the arena dropped, draining the excitement from what should have been a heated matchup.
Again, I'm all for Unrivaled League. I've enjoyed it thus far. Again, Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier, shout out to them for giving us this league. But again, this is just what we fear. Okay, when it comes to us as spectators and fans of these athletes, the women in this basketball. Again, women's bodies is not the same. I know you're gonna be like, well, the NBA season is longer. Listen. Women don't have as much muscles. They even say, like, female athletes, female basketball players in specific, we are more, or not we, but they are more prone to, like, male basketball players of tearing the ACL because we don't have as much muscle around our kneecaps, okay, to, like, prevent, us tearing our ACL. So, again, this is, like, it's unfortunate to see the damage that's going on with these young women and to their bodies because they're playing basketball at this point all season, all year long. That's the time to rest, strength, train, go through proper conditionings, get your mind right, meditate, spiritual, physical health, etc., your mental health, and also keep up with your diet.